Greetings, folks. We've just had SANADA come in wanting to answer some questions that we have gathered from various folks. So, Anthony, if you have anything there, that would be great. I'll just tune in again. Yes, greetings, dear beloveds. It is I, SANADA, come today to answer these questions that you have come forth with.
Yes, and welcome, Sananda. Some of these questions I have. I am filled with rage, possibly all at self. What can I do?
Oh, we must laugh, dear souls. We are not laughing at you. No, we are under no illusion as to the difficulty and challenges of life on earth. But we are laughing because there are so many dimensions to this question. Rage is indeed in itself a purification. And yes, rage can be turned at self, and even this is a purification. Because better out than in, isn't it? When it starts to turn from being directed inward into self-loathing and self-doubt and lack of trust, and at least when it turns and it comes out, makes it a not very pleasant, grumpy day for the person releasing this, but it is in principle better out than in. So, yes, we will address this subject of rage at self. The world is shifting, dear beloveds. So, dear beloveds, you will all be experiencing different versions of yourself coming to play. Fragments of self, long lost in some cases, will be returning to you. Some will feel like strangers, some will feel like beloveds on the return home. You will adjust and integrate these energies as they arise and they come in. But in many cases, there may be a day or two where this fragment of self, this fragment of DNA, this fragment of ancestor is seeking to come in and to find its home within your whole God self, your God spark self, and to become one, to bring you into unity again. There are many parts of you, past life selves, etc., that have rage at the roles they played in that life, who are disappointed in the choices they made in those lives, in the shame and at the violence, at the death, at the horror that they may have caused in these past lives. Souls can have been beings of great light, but also they can have been souls of great dark for a time. Indeed, the souls of great light are likely to have had lives of great dark, or else they would not be able to hold the great light. This is certainly the case with this one and you, Anthony, and this is why these energies are able to be discussed now. Have we answered any part of that, Anthony?
Yes, I think you have. The rest are sort of the same sort of follow on from that to some degree. Many regrets and even past betrayals and hurts are very live in my system. What do I do here?
Yes. This is a little bit different. It is the same purification. But for those of you who are feeling these wounds surfacing at this time, yes, how can you love them and be grateful for them and accept them? No human being is perfect. This idea of perfection is one of these strange principles of the physical body that we discussed last week in our session with you, that about this idea that bodily perfection can be attained, and somehow people believe that also means perfection of the soul. In actual fact, planet Earth is a place of exploration of light and dark. One must fall down the holes to climb out again of the valley, of the canyon, to climb the mountain. This is the law of duality that governs this universe. How then can you expect to be constantly in the light and believe that this is of ultimate value for you to live in full light when, of course, the dark has been your major teaching? Now, we at this point will differentiate the past world where corruption and dark have held sway. Humans have been forced, asked, certainly their souls have been put on this path of moving through great darkness into and recovering the light. Now that the age of light is upon the planet, now that it is dawning, this idea of living in the essence of pure love, essence only in the frequency of divine, beyond the idea of religion or of evil or even of names such as God or devil, just understanding that this is a beneficent, loving, pure frequency that this God self, prime creator, emanates. And the human being lives within this field. And this field is going to mirror and show up any truths at any time that are needed for the soul to learn from. So, as the soul does the deep clearing of the pain and the shame and the blame that you referred to earlier, much of it directed inward, much of it directed outward, as the stories are discombobulated, are broken down, are surrendered, meaning that it is not necessarily for any person to carry a narrative of pain or blame anymore, but simply to exist in this field of loving, unconditional unity, light. Then indeed we are talking about a future time on your planet where it will be possible to live in the light. So historically, when we say you cannot avoid the darkness, that is soon to be historical. But we are at the key time on planet Earth, dear souls, where we urge you to accept and love and forgive this shame and blame and recurrence of such pain that your being has experienced so far on this planet, so that you can understand it is time to make peace now with these wounds. And that these wounds are of the past. And yes, they have informed you and taught you much. But now we are clearing the slate with the Taurus new moon that is upon us as we speak this very day, the last 24 hours. This is a time of birthing your new lives. The abundance you seek, the home place you seek, the structures you seek. This is a time of great fertility. But that of the material realm that has caught you and tripped you and trapped you until now, please, dear souls, seek to release this now. Write it on paper and burn it if you wish. Take it with you into the ocean and swim it away, cleanse it away. Go out into the night sky and ask the moon and the stars to take it from you. Ask the rays of the new Father Sun and offer it in offerings, most importantly to Mother Earth. Make her the offerings. Thank her for the clarity and the grounding she is offering to you every day. And when you give her these wounds, give her these old darknesses to transmute on your behalf, she will do this because she loves you fully. And it is her role to respond to your requests, which are for you to travel with her into the light. Is there another question, Ant?
Yes. I'll read the next two sort of together because they're one and the same, I think. I feel very strong and stroppy. I feel a core of darkness and disbelief with self within. Is this leaving? Strong imposter syndrome.
Yes. Well, I think we will talk about the stroppy and the powerful first, because
Okay.
this is a very specific aspect, and many of you will be feeling this. You will be feeling your new selves coming online, and they do feel different, dear souls. They have a steel in them, a resonance in them, a light in them, a clarity in them, which may feel new, even to those very evolved souls. They may feel new. And within this energy of, I know who I am, my I am is strong, my I am is purified, and now I step forth. Yes, there is a little bit of wildness. There is a little bit of don't get in my way going on for those awakening currently into this new realm of light, because the mission is becoming clearer. And it seems that there is no time to waste. So yes, do not get in my way, and I will drop away all that is inessential in my life, because I am now on mission. I am feeling called, and beyond this too. So that is one aspect. That is the answer to that part of that question, Anthony.
Yeah.
Now, the second part, which says...
Would you like me to read that out again?
Yes, thank you.
I feel a core of darkness and disbelief with self within. Is this leaving? Strong imposter syndrome.
Yes, interesting name this one has given it. It is leaving. This is what we are clearly saying, yes? All is anything and all that is arising to leave, to be put out through the shadow vortexes, through the portals into the light, or if the energy is too dark to receive the light, it will be taken back to source. So this is definitely in process. The fact that this person feels it as a core of darkness is really only saying that this fragment has been deeply buried for some time. There is not an innate core of darkness in the human. The human indeed is light. But when darkness comes, and over several past lives, meaning through many incarnations, aspects of the dark can embed into the frequency field of any human, and they can start to feel as though they are their true self, or part of their true self. And this is where the deeper inquiry using sound, resonance, frequency, and healing energetics can melt this into light, into unity. And so the individual can understand, as I hope this one does, that there is only forgiveness. There is only light coming in where there was dark. We are not denying there was dark. There was dark in these particular lives. There was struggle, there was humiliation, there was pain, there was shame. Many things to regret in these past lives. But they were parts of the soul learning that the soul chose for this earth experience, and much has been gained by going into the dark, as we have already said. As for the imposter syndrome, I think we have answered it if you just draw that example we used a little wider, that ultimately we have a human who is coded to be a being of light, and yet the soul has chosen to come into a world of duality and to honor the rules and the challenges in a way, and to fully experience the earth school. There will be darkness that comes in, and in a way that darkness is an imposter, because it is not resonating with the frequency of the light, which is the pure true coding of the human, before it chose to come into this world of duality, if that makes sense. So should we say the light coding is the light coding of the soul, and it is the human who experienced to have darkness into within this framework. And it can seem that that darkness is the reality. Therefore, when I seek to move into my higher self, my highest self, my brilliance, my gifts, that I am an imposter. But in reality, in this world of inversion, it is the opposite, is it not? You have always been the light. It is the dark that is the imposter. And you are simply moving now up into what is yours by divine design and by divine decree. So, dear souls, know that all of the brightness and the glowing futures and your passionate dreams that you are manifesting in your waking and dream time currently, these are the truth. And the darkness which has served you so well over millennia, we can now look at that as an imposter and ask it to move into its own realm now and return to the realm of darkness from whence it came.
Very good. I think this is the last question in this little group. I feel rage at God about needing to do my tasks. Is this because I haven't done them until now?
Yes. Rage at God is a lot more common on the earth plane than people realize. This is one of the strands of rage that turns into self-hatred, self-loathing, simple lack of self-love, self-doubt, hesitation to move into spiritual alignment, hesitation to move into this embracing of the divine in daily life. It can show up in many ways. But this is because the churches have sometimes set up this idea of God as we know, the man with the white beard on the throne. So it becomes a very physicalized, personalized entity that, yes, you can be cross at, especially if you lump the God image along with the patriarchy, which has caused such vast amounts of, certainly has been one of the major manifestations of duality, has allowed duality to continue on this planet. And so there are many very sensible reasons where there can emerge rage at God, but people don't always realize it is this. This one remembers the day some years ago now, perhaps 10, 20 years ago, where this idea of rage of God was introduced, and she found it completely liberating because indeed it was the missing piece. She didn't realize she was allowed to be angry at God and that she was carrying such rage at God within her. And so it was very liberating to understand that the constructs around religion and spirituality, which can be called God, yes, these are forces which can be met with and encountered and talked to and raged at, just like others. But on another level, so yes, that is one aspect. The other level we wonder is, as we have said before, the ascension path, although not a battle and not linked into old ideas of hardship, we could not say it is not challenging. We could not say there are not numerous initiations on this path, numerous moments where it is required to look deeply into self, numerous moments where you may prefer to turn the television on, but no, there is some examination or some work to be done. This is ultimately the discipline of the spirit, and it will be up to each individual how much time they give this deeper work. It is often thought that this request to do your tasks, to get on task with your spiritual life, is going to make your life a hardship, is going to weigh you down, is going to discolour the rest of your life. But again, this is rather an old view, because even the word task we would seek to perhaps reframe. Might it not be the passion of following one's mission, or the soul calling which is seeking to emerge? Both require work and solidity and focus to bring these into the material realm of 3 and 4D, to embody them, to create containers out of them, which, for example, can invite people to share in as meditation groups or teaching projects. But these are of the light. These structures are of the light. And so we are suggesting that somewhere in this great dichotomy, there is a particular flavour of willingness and surrender, with a little soupçon of excitement, that will indeed lift off this idea of heaviness and task. And we feel simply, if you were to breathe and meditate and call in your divine guidance before you do these tasks, this frequency will be offered to you as you work. And suddenly there will be a lightness in moving forward. Whereas when the idea was trapped in the head as a should or a must, this lightness cannot reach it there in the ego brain. But once it is pulled forward into the light of day and opened into a palette which is like this divine field of love, then of course anything can be reframed as a useful and pleasant and worthwhile experience. So I think that has completed that. Did that make sense to you, Anton?
Yes, it was very, very good. Thank you very much, SANADA.
So I think, are we complete now?
Mm-hmm. Unless you want to cover off anything else on this topic.
We feel the distress of many across the planet. We feel the discombobulation within your lives, within your relationships, within your bodies. We know this is a challenging time for all on this planet. for the fully awakened, for the partially awakened, for the unawakened. All beings are being called to look within, to see, to move, to claim the new, to jettison the old, to have opinions, to not have opinions, to stand up for what you believe, to activate what you believe, to join with others who are like-minded souls, to activate a new movement on the planet. This period of time has never, ever been on this planet before. Do not underestimate, dear souls, the challenge of this time for each and every one of you. And please just know that you are so loved and so honored for this great task and journey you are moving through at this time. And please also know that the golden age is secured, and this is a necessary time of exposure and seeming conflict, and where the dualities on the planet are going to become very extreme. So find your own middle road, dear souls. Whatever it takes, listening to the music, taking time out with a like-minded friend, as simple or as grand as it needs to be, take the time to bring yourself back into the 0 point energy to balance yourself. And then you will ride these coming months in much greater ease. We are sending you always love and illumination. As always, we say to you, please ask, please call on your guidance teams, your angelics, your guides, source, prime creator. All of these beings of light are here with you. The great elementals, the great elemental kingdoms, the ascended masters, the celestial guardians, your star nation families. There is so much support for you if you just ask at this time. We will leave it here, dear Anthony. Thank you so much for your time, and much love to all who see this message. Thank you.
And thank you.
Great. So I hope that was helpful to somebody, and lovely that SANADA himself came forward today. Lovely. Okay, Anthony, we'll finish that one now. Thanks.